sehat tanpa korupsi. Saya, Budi Susatya, Direktur Poltekkes Kemenkes Malang. Tahun 2021, Poltekkes Kemenkes Malang menjadi salah satu Satker UPT Kemenkes yang diusulkan menjadi Satker wilayah bebas dari korupsi tingkat nasional. Zona integritas dibangun dalam upaya mewujudkan tata kelola perguruan tinggi yang baik dan bersih Budi Susatya, Direktur Poltekkes Kemenkes Malang. Tahun 2021 yang Poltekkes Kemenkes Malang menjadi salah satu Satker UPT Kemenkes yang diusulkan menjadi agar seluruh wilayah bebas dari korupsi tingkat nasional. Zona integritas dibangun dalam upaya mewujudkan tata kelola perguruan tinggi yang baik dan bersih Budi Susatya, Direktur Poltekkes Kemenkes Malang. Tahun 2021 yang Poltekkes Kemenkes Malang menjadi salah satu Satker UPT Kemenkes yang diusulkan menjadi agar seluruh wilayah bebas dari korupsi tingkat nasional. Zona integritas dibangun dalam upaya mewujudkan tata kelola perguruan tinggi yang baik dan bersih Budi Susatya, Direktur Poltekkes Kemenkes Malang. Tahun 2021 yang Poltekkes Kemenkes Malang menjadi salah satu Satker UPT Kemenkes yang diusulkan menjadi agar seluruh wilayah bebas dari korupsi tingkat nasional. Zona integritas dibangun dalam upaya mewujudkan tata kelola perguruan tinggi yang baik dan bersih Budi Susatya, Direktur Poltekkes Kemenkes Malang. Tahun 2021 yang Poltekkes Kemenkes Malang menjadi salah satu dan berkualitas terwujud budaya integritas.
Komitmen bersama dilaksanakan untuk menuju zona integritas wilayah bebas dari korupsi yang dicanangkan Kementerian Pendayagunaan Aparatur Negara dan Reformasi Birokrasi. Fakta integritas menjadi pegangan untuk berbenah. Perubahan positif berkelanjutan terus dilakukan di seluruh tingkat manajemen, perbaikan fasilitas maupun sistem pembelajaran. Untuk memacu kinerja pegawai, sistem reward and punishment diberlakukan. Menuju pelayanan prima, Polkesma terus memperbaiki sistem layanan, baik konvensional maupun sistem digital berbasis teknologi informasi. Ruang layanan akademik menjadi sentra pelayanan terhadap mahasiswa maupun alumni. Sikap ramah, santun, dan solutif menjadi budaya oleh setiap pegawai Polkesma dalam memberikan pelayanan. Untuk mendukung peningkatan kualitas pelayanan, disiapkan perangkat digital yang mengatur antrian. Tak hanya itu, untuk mengawasi pelayanan agar berjalan semestinya dan menghindarkan dari praktek korupsi, kolusi, dan nepotisme, Satgas Pengawasan Internal selalu siap memantau di semua sektor pelayanan. Untuk memberi kemudahan terhadap mahasiswa, serta mengurangi interaksi antara mahasiswa dan pegawai yang berpotensi menimbulkan praktek kecurangan, manajemen membuat aplikasi digital termasuk dalam hal pembayaran. Masing-masing mahasiswa diberikan akun virtual untuk menyelesaikan segala tanggungannya.
Oleh pihak kampus, kita sangat dimudahkan untuk pengurusan administrasi tersebut, dan salah satunya juga adalah pembayaran SPP. Untuk pembayaran SPP, kita bisa melalui virtual account jika kita memiliki, dan mungkin salah satunya juga kita bisa melalui ATM, langsung ke ATM seperti itu. Jadi tidak perlu datang jauh-jauh ke kampus.
Dalam bidang pelayanan administrasi, Polkesma juga telah menerapkan sistem digital. Sistem ini berlaku untuk pegawai internal maupun terhadap mahasiswa atau alumni dan masyarakat luas. Diwadahi dalam website poltekkesmalang.ac.id, segala alur layanan administrasi dapat diakses, seperti legalisir online, pengajuan SK online, hingga pengaduan gratifikasi secara online. Peningkatan fasilitas guna memberikan rasa nyaman terhadap mahasiswa terus dilakukan, mulai ruang belajar dengan fasilitas terstandar, sarana praktikum, laboratorium, perpustakaan terpadu, pos layanan kesehatan, layanan konseling, tempat ibadah, asrama, fasilitas olahraga, gazebo, kantin, ATM, ruang laktasi, ambulans, panggung orasi, hingga secure parking. Guna mendukung referensi pembelajaran terhadap mahasiswa, Polkesma memiliki ruang perpustakaan yang cukup lengkap. Ruangan ini juga dilengkapi perangkat digital guna memudahkan mahasiswa dalam melakukan pendaftaran maupun pencarian buku. Di bidang pembelajaran, Polkesma telah menerapkan strategi pembelajaran yang efektif dan menarik. Didukung dengan kurikulum pendidikan tinggi, vokasi Polkesma menerapkan kurikulum dual system, di mana sejumlah 70% kegiatan praktikum, praktik klinik dan magang, dan 30% pembelajaran teori. Implementasi pembelajaran inovatif dengan konsep blended learning yang menyenangkan dan memudahkan. Tak hanya itu, penerapan konsep internet-based test dalam ujian dan pembelajaran juga dilakukan dengan konsep e-learning.
Kami sebagai mahasiswa enjoy dengan sistem pembelajaran yang ada di kampus kami. Jadi kami lebih bisa mengaplikasikan teori yang diberikan oleh dosen kami, dan kami dapat memahaminya secara lebih cepat.
Polkesma memiliki 220 tenaga pengajar dengan kualifikasi magister dan doktoral dari berbagai disiplin ilmu yang akan membentuk skill profesional dan karakter bagi para mahasiswa. Polkesma telah terbukti melahirkan lulusan yang bekerja di institusi kesehatan di dalam negeri, bahkan luar negeri. Dari semua perubahan yang telah dilakukan mendapat respon positif dari mahasiswa maupun masyarakat luas. Hal ini bisa diukur dari indeks kepuasan masyarakat yang menunjukkan masuk kategori baik. Di masa pandemi COVID-19, Polkesma Malang juga turut berkontribusi mengkampanyekan protokol kesehatan bagi pengajar, mahasiswa, maupun masyarakat umum. Untuk memberikan perlindungan terhadap pegawai maupun mahasiswa, pemberlakuan memakai masker, mengukur suhu, serta mencuci tangan menjadi hal wajib dilakukan saat memasuki area kampus. Selain itu, selama pandemi, kegiatan perkuliahan dilakukan secara daring. Polkesma juga menjadi garda terdepan bagi pemerintah untuk membentuk herd immunity pelaksanaan vaksinasi. Lebih dari 10.000 dosis vaksin dilakukan di kampus oleh tenaga kesehatan dari Polkesma. Dari peningkatan kinerja dan perubahan positif yang dilakukan oleh manajemen, telah mengantarkan Polkesma meraih predikat wilayah bebas dari korupsi atau WBK di lingkungan Kementerian Kesehatan RI. Peningkatan pelayanan serta beragam inovasi yang telah diciptakan akan bermuara pada pelayanan prima yang berujung kecepatan, kemudahan, dan kenyamanan bagi masyarakat umum, mahasiswa, maupun internal pegawai.
Selamat datang di di Laboratorium Program Studi Kebidanan Malang, Politeknik Kesehatan Kemenkes Malang. Demi menunjang aktivitas pendidikan dan pembelajaran, Program Studi Kebidanan Malang telah berupaya untuk menyelenggarakan program pendidikan vokasi dan profesi yang sesuai dengan standar mutu pendidikan tinggi yang berlaku. Laboratorium Prodi Kebidanan Malang memiliki 10 ruang laboratorium kompetensi kebidanan sebagai wahana praktik bagi mahasiswa program D3, sarjana terapan, dan profesi yang dilengkapi dengan alat-alat laboratorium berteknologi canggih dan sesuai tuntutan kurikulum meliputi Laboratorium Keterampilan Dasar Kebidanan sebagai wahana belajar keterampilan dasar kebidanan, lab skill, kepaniteraan umum, dan tempat uji kompetensi dengan metode OSCE. Laboratorium Kesehatan Ibu dan Anak sebagai wahana praktik asuhan kebidanan pada ibu hamil dan anak yang didesain dengan konsep poliklinik KIA. Laboratorium Intranatal Care sebagai wahana praktik asuhan kebidanan pada ibu bersalin dan bayi baru lahir yang dilengkapi dengan infant warmer dan meja resusitasi neonatus. Laboratorium Postnatal Care sebagai wahana praktik asuhan kebidanan pada ibu nifas dan menyusui yang dilengkapi dengan alat bantu belajar mengajar yang sesuai dengan standar profesi bidan. Laboratorium Kesehatan Reproduksi dan Keluarga Berencana sebagai wahana praktik asuhan kebidanan pada akseptor KB dan kesehatan reproduksi pada masa interval yang dilengkapi dengan ruang konseling yang pribadi dan nyaman. Laboratorium Kegawat Daruratan yang diprioritaskan untuk asuhan kebidanan kegawat daruratan pada maternal dan neonatal dengan ruangan berstandar instalasi gawat darurat obstetri serta dilengkapi fasilitas troli emergensi, infuse pump, phantom full body elektrik, inkubator, serta ambulans. Laboratorium Anak sebagai wahana praktik asuhan kebidanan pada anak sehat dan anak sakit dengan fasilitas berupa ruangan perinatologi dan ruang tumbuh kembang anak. Laboratorium Komunitas sebagai wahana praktik asuhan kebidanan pada ibu dan anak dalam masyarakat yang mengadopsi konsep posyandu dan mendukung program penyuluhan. Laboratorium Women Empowerment in Midwifery sebagai wahana praktik pemberdayaan perempuan dan pelayanan pada ibu dan anak yang mengalami kekerasan. Laboratorium ini merupakan laboratorium unggulan dan penciri untuk mencapai visi program studi sarjana terapan dan pendidikan profesi yang dilengkapi dengan ruang konseling, ruang periksa, area senam yoga, kelas ibu hamil, aromaterapi, serta meja pelaporan khusus kekerasan pada ibu dan anak. Laboratorium Klasikal sebagai wahana demonstrasi kompetensi kebidanan secara klasikal, serta 3 laboratorium penunjang kompetensi kebidanan yaitu Laboratorium Anatomi, Laboratorium Mikrobiologi, dan Laboratorium Kimia. Kami juga memiliki 4 ruang tutorial sebagai tempat kepenetraan umum dengan metode tutorial teori dan skill, serta problem-based learning. Ruang penyimpanan untuk menyimpan alat-alat laboratorium terstandar untuk menjaga fungsi dan kualitas instrumen, serta ruang data sebagai pusat data dan informasi.
Fasilitas laboratorium kami sangat menunjang pembelajaran untuk mencapai kompetensi mahasiswa. Kami memiliki alat yang lengkap dengan rasio 1:2 hingga 1:5 serta telah sesuai dengan standar minimum laboratorium kebidanan dari PPSDM tahun 2016.
Laboratorium Kebidanan memiliki 9 orang pranatap laboratorium pendidikan atau PLP yang bertanggung jawab pada masing-masing ruang laboratorium serta memberikan pelayanan kepada mahasiswa. Laboratorium Kebidanan Malang juga telah melakukan improvement dalam bentuk sistem pelayanan laboratorium secara online melalui aplikasi bernama SiLab KIA. Mulai dari peminjaman alat dan bahan laboratorium, peminjaman ruang laboratorium, daftar hadir mahasiswa dalam kegiatan praktikum, jurnal, serta jadwal praktikum. Aplikasi SiLab KIA juga memungkinkan setiap mahasiswa untuk mengakses jadwal praktikum serta melakukan booking laboratorium secara mandiri melalui smartphone masing-masing. guna memastikan kualitas pelayanan serta pelaksanaan prosedur kesehatan dan keselamatan kerja atau K3, Laboratorium Kebidanan Malang memiliki pedoman pelaksanaan dan pelayanan meliputi pedoman umum penggunaan laboratorium dan pedoman K3. Dalam rangka melaksanakan amanat Tridharma perguruan tinggi, selain pendidikan dan penelitian, Laboratorium Kebidanan Malang juga melakukan kegiatan pengabdian kepada masyarakat, khususnya di lingkungan sivitas akademika, program studi, sarjana terapan, dan pendidikan profesi bidan, Polkesma.
Kami siap mengabdi kepada masyarakat demi kemajuan bangsa Indonesia.
Selamat datang di Kampus Politeknik Kesehatan Kemenkes Malang, Polkesma. perguruan tinggi kesehatan di bawah naungan Kementerian Kesehatan Republik Indonesia. Kampus utama Polkesma berlokasi di Jalan Besar Ijen Malang. Kampus yang berdiri mulai tahun 2001 ini merupakan salah satu dari 38 institusi pendidikan kesehatan yang dimiliki Kementerian Kesehatan. Dalam perjalanannya, Polkesma memiliki visi menjadi politeknik kesehatan yang beradab dan berdaya saing global, serta terdapat sejumlah misi yang diemban, antara lain menyelenggarakan pendidikan dan pembelajaran yang berkualitas untuk mengembangkan potensi dan kepribadian mahasiswa yang beradab dan berdaya saing global. Kemudian menyelenggarakan penelitian terapan dan pengabdian kepada masyarakat yang berkualitas dan inovatif. Selain itu, melaksanakan tata kelola organisasi yang baik berbasis teknologi informasi. Dan yang terakhir, mengembangkan kerjasama kemitraan dalam negeri maupun luar negeri. Polkesma memiliki 5.000 mahasiswa. Kampus yang menjadi barometer pendidikan kesehatan di Indonesia ini membawai 7 kampus yang tersebar di Malang, Jember, Blitar, Kediri, Trenggalek, Ponorogo, dan Lawang. Dari semua kampus tersebut terdapat 20 program studi. Polkesma telah berhasil meraih akreditasi baik dan termasuk dalam kualifikasi 1 Politeknik Kesehatan di Indonesia. Pencapaian tersebut merupakan gambaran penerapan sistem manajemen mutu tata kelola institusi dan strategi pembelajaran inovatif, serta pemanfaatan teknologi informasi yang terus berkembang.
Salam sehat, sehat tanpa korupsi. Saya, Budi Susatya, Direktur Poltekkes Kemenkes Malang. Tahun 2021, Poltekkes Kemenkes Malang menjadi salah satu Satker UPT Kemenkes yang diusulkan menjadi Satker wilayah bebas dari korupsi tingkat nasional. Zona integritas dibangun dalam upaya mewujudkan tata kelola perguruan tinggi yang baik dan bersih menuju wilayah bebas dari korupsi dan wilayah birokrasi bersih melayani. Dengan semangat yang tinggi, Poltekkes Kemenkes Malang berkomitmen menuju wilayah bebas dari korupsi tingkat nasional untuk mewujudkan perguruan tinggi yang bersih, melayani, profesional, efektif dan efisien, dengan harapan agar seluruh layanan di Poltekkes Kemenkes Malang menjadi layanan yang semakin bermutu dan berkualitas, terwujud budaya integritas.
Komitmen bersama dilaksanakan untuk menuju zona integritas wilayah bebas dari korupsi yang dicanangkan Kementerian Pendayagunaan Aparatur Negara dan Reformasi Birokrasi. Fakta integritas menjadi pegangan untuk berbenah. Perubahan positif berkelanjutan terus dilakukan di seluruh tingkat manajemen, perbaikan fasilitas maupun sistem pembelajaran. Untuk memacu kinerja pegawai, sistem reward and punishment diberlakukan. Menuju pelayanan prima, Polkesma terus memperbaiki sistem layanan, baik konvensional maupun sistem digital berbasis teknologi informasi. Ruang layanan akademik menjadi sentra pelayanan terhadap mahasiswa maupun alumni. Sikap ramah, santun, dan solutif menjadi budaya oleh setiap pegawai Polkesma dalam memberikan pelayanan. Untuk mendukung peningkatan kualitas pelayanan, disiapkan perangkat digital yang mengatur antrian. Tak hanya itu, untuk mengawasi pelayanan agar berjalan semestinya dan menghindarkan dari praktek korupsi, kolusi, dan nepotisme, Satgas Pengawasan Internal selalu siap memantau di semua sektor pelayanan. Untuk memberi kemudahan terhadap mahasiswa, serta mengurangi interaksi antara mahasiswa dan pegawai yang berpotensi menimbulkan praktek kecurangan, manajemen membuat sejumlah aplikasi digital termasuk dalam hal pembayaran. Masing-masing mahasiswa diberikan akun virtual untuk menyelesaikan segala tanggungannya.
Oleh pihak kampus, kita sangat dimudahkan untuk pengurusan administrasi tersebut, dan salah satunya juga adalah pembayaran SPP. Untuk pembayaran SPP, kita bisa melalui virtual account jika kita memiliki, dan mungkin salah satunya juga kita bisa melalui ATM, langsung ke ATM seperti itu. Jadi tidak perlu datang jauh-jauh ke kampus.
Dalam bidang pelayanan administrasi, Polkesma juga telah menerapkan sistem digital. Sistem ini berlaku untuk pegawai internal maupun terhadap mahasiswa atau alumni dan masyarakat luas. Diwadahi dalam website poltekkesmalang.ac.id, segala alur layanan administrasi dapat diakses, seperti legalisir online, pengajuan SK online, hingga pengaduan gratifikasi secara online. Peningkatan fasilitas guna memberikan rasa nyaman terhadap mahasiswa terus dilakukan, mulai ruang belajar dengan fasilitas terstandar, sarana praktikum, laboratorium, perpustakaan terpadu, pos layanan kesehatan, layanan konseling, tempat ibadah, asrama, fasilitas olahraga, gazebo, kantin, ATM, ruang laktasi, ambulans, panggung orasi, hingga secure parking. Guna mendukung referensi pembelajaran terhadap mahasiswa, Polkesma memiliki ruang perpustakaan yang cukup lengkap. Ruangan ini juga dilengkapi perangkat digital guna memudahkan mahasiswa dalam melakukan pendaftaran maupun pencarian buku. Di bidang pembelajaran, Polkesma telah menerapkan strategi pembelajaran yang efektif dan menarik. Didukung dengan kurikulum pendidikan tinggi, vokasi Polkesma menerapkan kurikulum dual system, di mana sejumlah 70% kegiatan praktikum, praktik klinik dan magang, dan 30% pembelajaran teori. Implementasi pembelajaran inovatif dengan konsep blended learning yang menyenangkan dan memudahkan. Tak hanya itu, penerapan konsep internet-based test dalam ujian dan pembelajaran juga dilakukan dengan konsep e-learning.
Kami sebagai mahasiswa enjoy dengan sistem pembelajaran yang ada di kampus kami. Jadi kami lebih bisa mengaplikasikan teori yang diberikan oleh dosen kami, dan kami dapat memahaminya secara lebih cepat.
Polkesma memiliki 220 tenaga pengajar dengan kualifikasi magister dan doktoral dari berbagai disiplin ilmu yang akan membentuk skill profesional dan karakter bagi para mahasiswa. Polkesma telah terbukti melahirkan lulusan yang bekerja di institusi kesehatan di dalam negeri bahkan luar negeri. Dari semua perubahan yang telah dilakukan mendapat respon positif dari mahasiswa maupun masyarakat luas. Hal ini bisa diukur dari indeks kepuasan masyarakat yang menunjukkan masuk kategori baik. Di masa pandemi COVID-19, Polkesma Malang juga turut berkontribusi mengkampanyekan protokol kesehatan bagi pengajar, mahasiswa, maupun masyarakat umum. Untuk memberikan perlindungan terhadap pegawai maupun mahasiswa, pemberlakuan memakai masker, mengukur suhu, serta mencuci tangan menjadi hal wajib dilakukan saat memasuki area kampus. Selain itu, selama pandemi, kegiatan perkuliahan dilakukan secara daring. Polkesma juga menjadi garda terdepan bagi pemerintah untuk membentuk herd immunity pelaksanaan vaksinasi. Lebih dari 10.000 dosis vaksin dilakukan di kampus oleh tenaga kesehatan dari Polkesma. Dari peningkatan kinerja dan perubahan positif yang dilakukan oleh manajemen, telah mengantarkan Polkesma meraih predikat wilayah bebas dari korupsi atau WBK di lingkungan Kementerian Kesehatan RI. Peningkatan pelayanan serta beragam inovasi yang telah diciptakan akan bermuara pada pelayanan prima yang berujung kecepatan, kemudahan, dan kenyamanan bagi masyarakat umum, mahasiswa, maupun internal pegawai.
Selamat datang di Laboratorium Program Studi Kebidanan Malang, Politeknik Kesehatan Kemenkes Malang. Demi menunjang aktivitas pendidikan dan pembelajaran, Program Studi Kebidanan Malang telah berupaya untuk menyelenggarakan program pendidikan vokasi dan profesi yang sesuai dengan standar mutu pendidikan tinggi yang berlaku. Laboratorium Prodi Kebidanan Malang memiliki 10 ruang laboratorium kompetensi kebidanan sebagai wahana praktik bagi mahasiswa program D3, sarjana terapan, dan profesi yang dilengkapi dengan alat-alat laboratorium berteknologi canggih dan sesuai tuntutan kurikulum meliputi Laboratorium Keterampilan Dasar Kebidanan sebagai wahana belajar keterampilan dasar kebidanan, lab skill, kepaniteraan umum, dan tempat uji kompetensi dengan metode OSCE. Laboratorium Kesehatan Ibu dan Anak sebagai wahana praktik asuhan kebidanan pada ibu hamil dan anak yang didesain dengan konsep poliklinik KIA. Laboratorium Intranatal Care sebagai wahana praktik asuhan kebidanan pada ibu bersalin dan bayi baru lahir yang dilengkapi dengan infant warmer dan meja resusitasi neonatus. Laboratorium Postnatal Care sebagai wahana praktik asuhan kebidanan pada ibu nifas dan menyusui yang dilengkapi dengan alat bantu belajar mengajar yang sesuai dengan standar profesi bidan. Laboratorium Kesehatan Reproduksi dan Keluarga Berencana sebagai wahana praktik asuhan kebidanan pada akseptor KB dan kesehatan reproduksi pada masa interval yang dilengkapi dengan ruang konseling yang pribadi dan nyaman. Laboratorium Kegawat Daruratan yang diprioritaskan untuk asuhan kebidanan kegawat daruratan pada maternal dan neonatal dengan ruangan berstandar instalasi gawat darurat obstetri serta dilengkapi fasilitas troli emergensi, infus pump, phantom full body elektrik, inkubator, serta ambulans. Laboratorium Anak sebagai wahana praktik asuhan kebidanan pada anak sehat dan anak sakit dengan fasilitas berupa ruangan perinatologi dan ruang tumbuh kembang anak. Laboratorium Komunitas sebagai wahana praktik asuhan kebidanan pada ibu dan anak dalam masyarakat yang mengadopsi konsep posyandu dan mendukung program penyuluhan. Laboratorium Women Empowerment in Midwifery sebagai wahana praktik pemberdayaan perempuan dan pelayanan pada ibu dan anak yang mengalami kekerasan. Laboratorium ini merupakan laboratorium unggulan dan penciri untuk mencapai visi program studi sarjana terapan dan pendidikan profesi yang dilengkapi dengan ruang konseling, ruang periksa, area senam yoga, kelas ibu hamil, aromaterapi, serta meja pelaporan kasus kekerasan pada ibu dan anak. Laboratorium Klasikal sebagai wahana demonstrasi kompetensi kebidanan secara klasikal, serta 3 laboratorium penunjang kompetensi kebidanan yaitu Laboratorium Anatomi, Laboratorium Mikrobiologi, dan Laboratorium Kimia. Kami juga memiliki 4 ruang tutorial sebagai tempat kepenetraan umum dengan metode tutorial teori dan skill, serta problem-based learning. Ruang penyimpanan untuk menyimpan alat-alat laboratorium terstandar untuk menjaga fungsi dan kualitas instrumen, serta ruang data sebagai pusat data dan informasi.
Fasilitas laboratorium kami sangat menunjang pembelajaran untuk mencapai kompetensi mahasiswa. Kami memiliki alat yang lengkap dengan rasio 1:2 hingga 1:5 serta telah sesuai dengan standar minimum laboratorium kebidanan dari PPSDM tahun 2016.
Laboratorium Kebidanan memiliki 9 orang pranatap laboratorium pendidikan atau PLP yang bertanggung jawab pada masing-masing ruang laboratorium serta memberikan pelayanan kepada mahasiswa. Laboratorium Kebidanan Malang juga telah melakukan improvement dalam bentuk sistem pelayanan laboratorium secara online melalui aplikasi bernama SILAB KIA. Mulai dari peminjaman alat dan bahan laboratorium, peminjaman ruang laboratorium, daftar hadir mahasiswa dalam kegiatan praktikum, jurnal, serta jadwal praktikum. Aplikasi SILAB KIA juga memungkinkan setiap mahasiswa untuk mengakses jadwal praktikum serta melakukan booking laboratorium secara mandiri melalui smartphone masing-masing. Guna memastikan kualitas pelayanan serta pelaksanaan prosedur kesehatan dan keselamatan kerja atau K3, Laboratorium Kebidanan Malang memiliki pedoman pelaksanaan dan pelayanan meliputi pedoman umum penggunaan laboratorium dan pedoman K3. Dalam rangka melaksanakan amanat Tridharma perguruan tinggi, selain pendidikan dan penelitian, Laboratorium Kebidanan Malang juga melakukan kegiatan pengabdian kepada masyarakat, khususnya di lingkungan sivitas akademika, program studi, sarjana terapan, dan pendidikan profesi bidan, Polkesma.
Kami siap mengabdi kepada masyarakat demi kemajuan bangsa Indonesia.
To all participants, please turn on your camera. Good morning to Mrs. Michelle and welcome to Indonesia. Attention please, with lecture. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, salam kebajikan. Salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. Good morning everyone. The Honorable Director of Politeknik Kesehatan Kemenkes Malang, Mr. Dr. Muhammad Wildan, Upper Pen MPD. Head of Midwifery Department, Mrs. Herawati Mansur, SST MPD MPC. Head of the Bachelor of Applied Midwifery Study Program in Malang, Mrs. Dr. Heni Astutik, SKEP NS MKes. Lecturers and education personnel in the Midwifery Department. Guest lecture speakers, Mrs. Michelle Akalda Tolibas, PhDNS, MAN, RN, all participants, and guest lecture committee. First of all, let us say thanks to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, who has been giving us mercy, guidance, happiness, and health. So we can attend and participate in this event with lecture today without obstacle until now. Salutation you turn to our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, the last messenger, the best figure of this universe. The person who was able to save us from the Jahiliyah era to the lightning era. Let me introduce myself. My name is Salinta Jasmine. As a master ceremony for the event with lecture on Friday, 2nd December 2022, with a topic is about transformation of midwifery services by optimizing women's empowerment in the industrial era 5.0. Hadirin yang berbahagia, adapun susunan acara pada pagi hari ini adalah sebagai berikut. Pertama, pembukaan. Kedua, menyanyikan lagu Indonesia Raya dan himne Polkesta. Ketiga, laporan Ketua Pelaksana. Keempat, sambutan Direktur Politeknik Kesehatan Kemenkes Malang yang diwakilkan oleh Ketua Program Studi Sarjana Terapan Kebidanan Malang. Kelima, penyampaian materi oleh Mrs. Michelle Akalda Tolibas, PhDNS, MAN, RN, RM. Keenam, sesi tanya jawab. Ketujuh, ucapan terima kasih oleh dosen Sarjana Terapan Kebidanan Malang. Kedelapan, sesi foto bersama. Kesembilan, penutup. Sebelum memasuki acara selanjutnya, berikut akan saya bacakan tata tertib kepada kuliah tamu pada pagi hari ini. Peserta dimohon untuk mengganti nama pengguna dengan format kelas underscore nama underscore asal prodi. Peserta dimohon untuk menghidupkan kamera dan mematikan fitur mikrofon selama acara berlangsung. Link presensi akan dibagikan melalui room chat Zoom meeting setiap 15 menit sekali dari pukul 9.30 hingga 10.30. Peserta cukup mengisi presensi sebanyak 1 kali. Harap menyimak materi dengan seksama dan dapat mengajukan pertanyaan melalui room chat Zoom meeting dengan format nama underscore prodi underscore pertanyaan ditujukan kepada underscore isi pertanyaan. Sebagai contoh, Citra underscore 2B underscore STR Kebidanan Malang underscore bertanya kepada underscore pertanyaan. Link evaluasi akan dibagikan melalui room chat Zoom meeting setelah sesi diskusi berakhir. Di penghujung acara, terdapat sesi foto bersama. Seluruh peserta dimohon untuk menghidupkan kamera. To start today's event, let us pray according to our respective religions and beliefs. For those who are Muslim, I will lead the prayer. Pray begin. Amin, amin, ya Rabbal Alamin. Indeed, prayer has no end and we can continue it on another occasion. The next event are singing the Indonesia Raya National Anthem song and the hymn of the Malang Ministry of Health Poltekkes. To the committee, time is yours. Thank you to the committee. The third agenda is the Chief Executive Report, which will be submitted by Ms. Maulidia Miranda. To Ms. Dea, time is yours. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan. Yang terhormat Direktur Politeknik Kesehatan Kemenkes Malang, Bapak Dr. Muhammad Wildan, MPD. Yang terhormat Ketua Jurusan Kebidanan Politeknik Kesehatan Kemenkes Malang, Ibu Herawati Mansur, SST MPD MPSI. Yang terhormat Ketua Program Studi Sarjana Terapan Kebidanan Malang, Ibu Heni Astuti Eskep NSMkes. Yang terhormat dosen dan tenaga kependidikan jurusan Kebidanan Politeknik Kesehatan Kemenkes Malang. Yang terhormat narasumber kuliah tamu from Visayas State University, Mrs. Michelle Alcalda Tolibas PhD NS MIN RNRM. Yang saya hormati seluruh peserta kuliah tamu, serta tidak pula teman-teman panitia yang saya banggakan. Syukur alhamdulillah kita panjatkan kehadirat Allah Subhanahu wa taala, Tuhan yang Maha Esa, atas keridoannya sehingga kita semua dapat mengikuti kegiatan kuliah tamu dalam keadaan walafiat, tanpa kurang suatu apapun. Amin. Pada kesempatan ini, izinkanlah kami sebagai panitia pelaksana untuk melaporkan kegiatan ini sebagai berikut. 1. Dasar pelaksana dari kegiatan ini adalah Program Kerja Himpunan Mahasiswa Program Studi Sarjana Terapan Kebidanan Malang Politeknik Kesehatan Kemenkes Malang tahun 2022. 2. Jumlah panitia yang berpartisipasi pada kegiatan kali ini berjumlah 21 panitia dari HMP. 3. Jumlah peserta yang mengikuti kegiatan ini dari mahasiswa yaitu berjumlah 265 orang, dari dosen dan tenaga kependidikan berjumlah 31 orang, dan adapun tujuan diadakan acara kuliah tamu ini yaitu menambah wawasan mahasiswa jurusan Kebidanan Malang Politeknik Kesehatan Kemenkes Malang mengenai peran bidan dalam pemanfaatan teknologi informasi di era digitalisasi. Demikian laporan yang dapat saya sampaikan. Saya selaku Wakil Ketua Pelaksana Kuliah Tamu mengucapkan terima kasih kepada seluruh pihak yang terkait. Insya Allah acara akan terlaksana dengan baik. Dan pada kesempatan ini kami menyampaikan permohonan maaf yang sebesar-besarnya apabila dalam pelaksanaan kegiatan ini terdapat kekurangan. Sekian yang dapat saya sampaikan. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you to Ms. Dea. The next program is the opening of the guest lecture event from Politeknik Kesehatan Kemenkes Malang, Dr. Muhammad Wildan, Aperpen MPD, who will be represented by the head of the Bachelor of Applied Midwifery Study Program in Malang, Politeknik Kesehatan Kemenkes Malang, Mrs. Dr. Heni Astuti MKes. To Mrs. Heni, time is yours.
Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, salam kebajikan, salam sejahtera bagi kita semuanya. Selamat pagi. Good. Yang tidak bisa dipilih. Ketua Jurusan Kebidanan Ibu Herawati Mansur, SST MPD MPSI atau yang mewakili. Yang kami hormati Ketua Program Studi di lingkungan Jurusan Kebidanan. Yang kami hormati para dosen dan tenaga kependidikan di lingkungan Jurusan Kebidanan. Yang kami hormati narasumber kuliah tamu hari ini yaitu Mrs. Michelle Alcalda Tolibas, PhD NS MIN RNRM dari Filipina, dan seluruh peserta kuliah tamu serta panitia yang saya banggakan. Puji syukur kita panjatkan kehadirat Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala atas segala nikmat dan karunia-Nya, sehingga pada hari ini kita masih diberikan kesehatan dan kesempatan untuk mengikuti kegiatan kuliah tamu mahasiswa program studi sarjana terapan Kebidanan Malang dengan tema Transformation of Midwifery Services by Optimizing Women's Empowerment in the Industrial Era 5.0. Pada kesempatan ini tak lupa juga kita sampaikan salam dan sholawat kepada junjungan kita Nabi besar Muhammad Shallallahu Alaihi Wasallam yang telah membawa kita dari zaman jahiliyah ke zaman terang benderang. Semoga kelak di akhirat kita mendapatkan syafaat beliau. Amin ya rabbal alamin. Sebelumnya, mari kita sapa dulu terlebih dahulu narasumber kuliah tamu pada pagi hari ini. Izinkan menyapa beliau. Hello, Mrs. Michelle Alcalde. Hello, Mrs. Michelle.
Hi, hello, good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine.
I'm pleased to meet you today at this lecture for students of undergraduate applied midwifery study program in Malang. I hope that you will enjoy this event and share your knowledge with us.
Yeah.
Okay, Polytechnic Kesehatan Kemenkes Malang is one of the heart polytechnic in Indonesia, which provides midwifery education both at the diploma stage, applied undergraduate and professional levels. The Bachelor of Applied Midwifery Study Program has a vision of producing graduates of applied midwifery who are civilized, globally competitive, and superior in empowering women in maternal and child health. This vision aims to produce creative, innovative, and skilled graduates in increasing every woman's awareness, will, and ability to achieve the highest possible maternal and child health. Currently, we are entering the Industrial Era 5.0, where the use of information and communication technology has been applied in almost all health services, including midwifery services. The role and function of the information system in midwifery health services is as an development center with a health perspective, a community and family empowerment center, and a basic health services center which is applied to seek, provide, and organize quality services to meet the community needs for quality health services. Therefore, the purpose of this guest lecture is expected to be able to add insight to students of the Malang Midwifery Department in the field of information technology, both in increasing knowledge and applying technology in midwifery practice. In this case, it is important for students to understand how the role of midwives in the use of information technology in the digitalization era to improve the quality of midwifery services through empowering women. So it is hoped that midwives, as the spirit head of midwifery services in the community, can provide the best advice and quality. Baik, adik-adik mahasiswa yang kami banggakan, pada acara kuliah tamu ini Anda akan mendapatkan pengetahuan tentang transformasi pelayanan kebidanan dengan optimalisasi pemberdayaan perempuan dengan memanfaatkan teknologi informasi yang akan disampaikan oleh narasumber kita.
Izin menyampaikan kepada Ibu Heni, Suara ibu terputus-putus.
Dinyatakan dibuka. Akhir kata, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.
Thank you very much to Mrs. Henny, who has been pleased to give a speech as well as open the good lecture this morning. The next event entered the main event, namely the delivery of guest lecture material with the theme Transformation of Midwifery Services by Optimizing Women's Empowerment in the Industrial Era 5.0, which will be led by Ms. Nadia Dina Taskia as moderator. The following is a CV from Ms. Nadia. Kak Nadia Dina Taskia merupakan mahasiswa kebidanan Poltekkes Kemenkes Malang yang bertinggal di Kecamatan Kaliwates, Kabupaten Jember, Jawa Timur. Pendidikan pada tahun 2019 sekarang merupakan mahasiswa sarjana terapan kebidanan di Poltekkes Kemenkes Malang. Organisasi, karena dia pernah mengikuti sebagai Ketua HMP Sarjana Terapan dan Pendidikan Profesi Bidan Malang pada tahun 2020 hingga 2021. Prestasi, karena dia pernah mencapai prestasi, yaitu runner-up Public Poster Competition UNUSA 2022 yang diselenggarakan oleh Universitas NU Surabaya pada Agustus 2022. For Miss Nadia, are you ready?
Yes, ready.
Well,
Thanks
if
a
it's
bunch.
ready, the time and press are yours.
Okay, thanks a bunch, Radinta. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, I would like to thank the Almighty God that gave us time and chance to attend this event through virtually. And thank you for having me. It is such an honor to be the moderator of today's event for Minutes Ahead. My name is Nadia Dina Taskia, or simply Nadia, and it is not going to sound like we're in Indonesia unless we begin everything with pantun. So, masak marning kurang manis. Good morning, beautiful ladies. How are you today? I hope you are all gorgeously fine because today we are going to discuss about the transformation of midwifery services by optimizing women empowerment in the industrial era 5.0. Panels, as we seen in everyday life, our daily activity has been perceived to be digitalized. We can take a walk at British Museum via Google Arts and Culture and own our virtual house in Metaverse. But basically, our life has been an a little help from our dear sister, technology. And maybe she's being something we cannot live without. So the main question we are going to find the answer today is that this advanced technology also affect the midwifery practice? It is a benefit or is it a challenge? Well, to enlighten our insight, we have Ma'am Michelle Calde-Tolibas, PhD and SMANRNRM from Visayas University at Philippines that already joined us via Zoom meeting. Beforehand, I'm going to read her curriculum vitae so we may know. So, Mrs. Michelle A. Calde-Tolibas, PhD and SMANRNRM from Visayas State University at Visca Baby City, Leyte, Philippines. She got a long list of employment history, but recently she is an associate professor 1 at Visayas State University College of Nursing from 2018 up to present. And her examination that has been taken is the midwifery laser examination at 2008. Next. She also got a long list of work experience, but recently she's associated professor 1 at Visayas State University College of Nursing. She also have a research paper published. The research is coping strategies of higher education of the academic on academic staff in Eastern Visayas, and she also got an award from Visayas State University Loyalty Award at June 15th at 2010. Okay. Good morning, Ma'am Michelle.
Yes, good morning.
I will try something in Tagalog, ma'am. Magandang umaga.
Magandang umaga din sa lahat.
Wonderful. Ma'am Michelle, we are thrilled to hear what is your response to the transformation of midwifery services by optimizing women's empowerment in the industry 5.0. So, without any further ado, let's begin the session. So, Ma'am Michelle, the panel is yours.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. I'd like to greet everyone a pleasant morning. I hope you will be able to get something from my lecture today, from my discussion today. It's not really a lecture, but my discussion as of this time. Okay, so I am so grateful that I have given a chance to talk with you, although it was a very short notice from the dean, because originally she has to have this talk with you, but due to the busy schedule of our head of office, so I was assigned to talk about this one, and then maybe it's because it is related to my expertise as well. Okay. So thank you so much to the head of this university, to Dr. Kisa Bahari for messaging me about this one, and to everyone else. I will not be mentioning one by one. So good morning. Have a pleasant day. I hope you will be able to get something to pick up from this talk. Okay, so I would like to please can you share my PowerPoint, or am I going to share my PowerPoint, or okay. So yeah. So today I am tasked to discuss with you about the transformation of midwifery. So there was a lacking word there, midwifery services. I have just read it today. It's because the one that is given to me is the one that I have, that is flashed now in your screen. So transformation of midwifery services by optimizing women empowerment with industrial era 5.0. So with this, we know, I want to begin with the midwifery word. So when we say midwifery, that is the care of woman during the perinatal period. But when it comes to nursing, when we teach about this one, it is in the care of the family as a whole, with the woman even during the union, the preparation of marriage, up to the pregnancy period, up to the labor and postpartum period. We actually include even the care of the family with growing children up to the adolescent. But when it comes to midwifery, as I understand it, I think we have the same concept as well. So, but we are more focused on the perinatal, meaning to say from the time of pregnancy up to the time of puerperium or postpartum period. Okay, so we are talking about actually, we are talking about maternal care. So with this, even the global has concern about this health, the health of women and children who are female. So why do we need to focus on women's health? This is the first thing that we should have to realize. Why we have to focus on women's health? It's because maternal health as well as the children's health are vital in the development of the country. Do you agree with that? So if we have a healthy population, we have a healthy country as well. Health of the population is vital in one nation. So it is important to transform our curriculum and see to it that it will improve the health of the people in order to build a better and progressive country. Or else, money, the funds of the government will just go into healthcare system, in the hospitalization, instead of using it in other projects like infrastructure. So with this, we have related concerns towards women. So women actually is accounted for 39% of the total employment in 2019, because what we are talking about is empowerment of women. So we will be talking about the statistics that is related to women. But 45% of global employment losses in 2020, maybe it is because of the pandemic that hit all over the world. So the closure of establishments and everything. So it also affected the women and the family as a whole. And then more than 1 in every 4 women that ages from 15 years and above have been subjected to IPV, or the so-called intimate partner violence. So it accounts for 641 million at least once in their lifetime. So it is really a fact that there is IPV, and some of the women are experiencing this one. Only 57% of women are making their own decisions on sex and reproductive health. That's the reason why, because where is the 43%? Meaning to say, some of women as of now, they don't have they cannot decide about themselves, because we know sometimes it is affected by the culture of the country as well. Sometimes we are the country, like the culture is governed by men instead of, so we are not like the Western country that we are given all the rights. They are well informed about the rights of women, just like in United States of America. So the decision making, sometimes it is governed by the government and by other people like their husbands. Next slide, please. So in an answer to, in response to this one, there is an answer of the global. So the Sustainable Development Goal has 17 targets, but we are actually on the 5th. So the SDG goal number 5, the target is actually to achieve gender equality and to empower all women and the girls. So with this, they have their specific targets. That is to end all forms of discrimination against girls. Second is to eliminate all forms of violence against women and girls in public and private spheres, including trafficking and sexual and other types of exploitation. Eliminate all harmful practices such as child and forced marriages and female genital mutilation, because with this, actually we really cannot decide on something because it is actually like governed by the culture of one nation. Next slide, please. So another one is to recognize and value unpaid care and domestic work through the provision of public services, infrastructure, and social protection policies, and the promotion of shared responsibility within the household and the family as nationally appropriate. And the fifth one is to ensure women's full and effective participation and equal opportunities for leadership at all levels of decision-making in political, economic, and public life. This is actually the reason why in this university that I am working now is we are very oriented about God or the gender and development. So we supposed to know the rights. Even the students we include them in the orientation. So the students as of now are oriented about the God as because it is a part of our orientation during the beginning of the school year about the rights of women. We talk about sexual harassment. So it is, and the government in the Philippines, as well as these universities, actually giving fund, like 5% of universities fund goes to the gender and development because it is really an issue, not only in other countries, but even in the Philippines. So the government is giving fund for this one so that we will know our rights. Next slide, please. And the most important is to ensure universal access to sexual and reproductive health and reproductive rights as agreed in accordance with the program of action of the ICPD and Beijing Platform for Action and the outcome documents of the review and conference. So this is to address the issues on gender. That's the reason why. So in the academe, like in your university and in our university, I think it is very much important or vital to align our program that are related to health, like nursing and midwifery, to the sustainable development goal. Even our curriculum must follow or must be aligned to this SDG. As of now, actually recently, just this semester, we included SDG number 5 and in our curriculum. So we have one of the objectives is to address actually the SDG, the women's health. So it is included in making our syllabi in the College of Nursing. This is to in response also, or to work on this so we can disseminate information about women's health. So we have 17 SDG, but we will supposed to be in health, we will be focusing on SDG number 5. That is related to health among women and girls. Okay, so in relation to this one, we will be talking about women's health and of course, empowerment. Okay, so women's health during pregnancy and childbirth is recognized internationally as the cornerstone to population health. As I have said earlier, that a healthy population meaning a healthy nation. Am I right? So that is because if we have a sick population, more of the funds will go to the hospitalization. So it will just go to our health insurances. So in the same manner that if we have a family member at home, so at home, if we have a family member who is very sick, it is a burden because instead of saving for other things, we will be paying for the medication, for the hospitalization. So a healthy person will contribute to a healthy family, and in general, it will contribute as well to the health of the nation. So it is commonly believed that greater empowerment of women will lead to improvements in their health, including pregnancy and childbirth. This is according to the World Health Organization in 2015 and in ICM in 2014. So we will be talking now about the... Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you see the presentation still?
Yeah, I'm sorry, ma'am. I think it's due to the network low bandwidth. It is automatically stop share screen, and we're still figuring out how to.
Okay. So it's not my internet.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am, you may continue.
Maybe next slide. Next slide. Yan. Okay. Next slide, please. Oh, okay. So next slide. Okay. So as I have said earlier, if we have healthier pregnancy, childbirth, and puerperium period, it will lead to a healthier population as well. So women empowerment has a big role in addressing the issues, the global issues on women. So our goal now is to achieve women's health and empowerment. Next slide, please. Okay. Sound. I'm sorry for that sound. Okay, so women's health and empowerment. Empowering women is expected to have beneficial effect on woman's psychological well-being during the childbearing period and her readiness to face the challenges after birth, where she needs to adapt to a new role as a mother responsible for raising a child, most especially for those who are primi gravida and primi para, meaning to say those who have been pregnant for the first time and have delivered for the first time, because it is a major change of her life. She will be having from the childless moment to a mother. So it is the woman, that's the reason why we need to empower women in taking care of herself during the pregnancy, during labor and delivery, and after labor, after the delivery, when she is starting to have a family of her own. As I have said, it is a new role and it is really a major change from childless to being a mother. So a positive birth experience can add, or it has a positive effect as well in the empowerment of a woman. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Seems like it is a double slide. Yeah, next slide. I'm sorry for that. Okay, that slide with a figure. That's it. So empowering women, it is not just a responsibility of the person. it is a responsibility of some agencies and institutions. So there must be a collaboration between that person, and some other factors are important as well, such as the government, both the local government and the national government, as well as the higher education institution, and even in the primary and secondary, it should be taught as well. So because we need to empower our professionals like the midwives, nurses, doctors, we need to empower them in taking care of a pregnant woman so that they can also empower women that could help the development of a good nation. So then we can utilize also technology is a part in the empowerment of women. Okay, so first is the government. What do you think is the role of the government in the empowerment of women? So we know that the landscape of social, cultural, economic, political is very vital in making rules, policies of every program in the Department of Health. So they play a role in empowering women as well, because they are the one actually who are making policies and everything. So just like in the Philippines, actually, it is really impossible to empower women when it comes to decision making, where to deliver, where to have their delivery, because one thing that needs to have for a woman is to decide where to deliver so they can deliver at home. But with the policy in the Philippines that the rule is no one will be having home deliveries. That is to answer also for the neonatal mortality rate that is increasing. So the reason why that we have to include the government in the policy making as well. So the problem in the Philippines is that the women are not allowed to deliver at home. So from that alone, they will not be empowered, because we are not like in the Western country that women can deliver at home. They can decide where to deliver. So in that alone, we will see that the effect of the government, the policy of the government, the rules, the law of the government in the empowerment of women. Okay, another one is the healthcare system. So the healthcare system is governed by the government. Another one is another factor in the empowerment of women is actually the university, because it is the university that make like program for health. Like they are the one who is making the curriculum of some programs that are related to health. So it is important for the university to have a good facility, to provide a good facility for like nursing, like the students, like nursing, midwifery, and medicine. So another one, the university needs to have a good manpower. That means expert on the concept, experts on their field, experts in health. Okay. Another one, policies also should be in connection with the policies of the government. As I have said earlier, there should be an alignment from the SDG or the Sustainable Development Goal to the Sustainable Development Goal in the national and in the local. So the university as well will have to follow the policies, the program of the nation. And another one, the university must have a good curriculum when it comes to making of programs. Another one is the technology. What is the role of technology in empowerment of women? self-education can be one, and some other things that I will be discussing later. And of course, another one, the best, the one that we need to have a good thing, good characteristics or attribute is the women. Okay, so in the empowerment, we are talking about women empowerment. So it is a factor also. The characteristic of a woman has a big role in the empowerment of themselves. Like they have to have characteristics, but it can also be affected by external and internal attributes. Next slide, please. Okay, so in the empowering women, as I have said, there are factors that could affect or could help in women empowerment. One is the university. So when it comes to the curriculum, making of programs, definitely there should be teaching facility that is good enough. Like in our in midwifery, we should have high fidelity equipment, mannequin, skills laboratory that are conducive for learning, because we are trying to empower our graduates in order also to empower these graduates, to empower the women when they apply what they have learned from the school, so they can apply it very well to the community when they do health education, when they take care of women. Next is, of course, it is a function of the university to have policies that must be solid knowledge of starting situation, meaning to say the policies of the university when it comes to program like midwifery must be based from the previous slide. I'm not yet done with the previous slide. So it must be based from the student perception. So the student should have something, should have a say on the program as well. That's the reason why if we change our curriculum here in the university, we have one student to represent for the whole students. That student has to attend in any change of the change of any curriculum, so that the students have a role in and can say something about the program that we are making or changing. Another one, as I have said, the manpower or the expert. We need to educate our manpower, our clinical instructors, our professors, and we need to also consider knowing or making research, and we should also attend like seminars and training to have an update about evidence-based practices. So that is empowerment of the manpower, so that we will be able to teach the students very well. And to empower students, that means they can help in the community in the empowering of women. Next slide, please. Okay, so what are the activities in the transformation of nursing or midwifery program? First is, of course, introduce the basic competence into the curriculum of nursing and midwifery program. So what we do in the university is actually, we do like competency appraisal. So like the level 2, the level 1, they should be competent when after a year of studying or after the course, they should know we have a competency that is being achieved, that we want to achieve after they have finished that course. Okay, so like in the level 2, we have a competency that is set to the level 2 students of our nursing students here, that after a year, they should know how to take care of a mother during the perinatal period. Next is to incorporate the specific competence to all subjects into the curriculum. So it means you are not just going to focus to introduce or to incorporate the women's health in maternal and child nursing course or subject, but it must be incorporated in all nursing subjects. Next is all subjects should provide guidelines or methods for achieving women's empowerment or gender equality in all aspects, not only exclusive to the domain of perinatal health. This is what what I have explained earlier. So we incorporate that even in our syllabus. We added this one as our objective, and facilitates empowering skills and provision of adequate knowledge. So when we are achieving for an adequate knowledge, of course, we need to hire experts. We need to hire qualified person, and then we can also send this person or faculty members to different updates, trainings, and seminars. Next slide, please. Yeah. Okay. So in the transformation of nursing or midwifery program, we have, as I have said earlier, we have to empower our professionals. So professional empowerment must be addressed during pre-service education, and it is therefore a central aspect of the curricula. So there are two curriculum that we can have in midwifery and also in the nursing program. So that is the CBE. The competency-based education approach allows the student to advance based on their ability to master a skill or competency at their own pace, meaning to say they will, maybe you can have your SBL, you can have your, it depends on how you do it, but it will be on the pace of the student. So because we really understand, we should know also, we have to realize that not all students have the same pace in learning. There are some students who are maybe like good in school, and there are some students also who cannot really they are like slow students in terms of knowledge and skills. So this CBE can help those students by working on their competency on their own pace. So this method is tailored to meet different learning activities and can lead to more efficient students' outcomes because you are leaving them responsible. The responsibility is on their hands. And another one is the content-based curricula. These rely on the disciplinary knowledge as the basis for teaching and learning activities, while competency-based curricula are defined as ones focusing on the mastery of specific learning outcomes or competencies that are necessary associated solely with a specific discipline. Next slide, please. Okay, how about incorporating technology? So as of now, we are on the fifth industrial revolution, meaning to say, everything can be done with the technology that we have now. So we are increasing our internet. Now it's like in previous years, it is only 4G. Now it is 5G. So meaning to say, the information and communication is so fast. So when you do your health education, technology can be used on this one. So what can the government do in order to incorporate the use of technology in the empowerment, women empowerment? One is maybe, and this is a target actually of the SDG, the provision of broadband subscription in the community. So maybe the Philippines is actually 5 years ago, there is a law that the public places should have this internet connection. So everyone will not spend money from their pockets in order to connect the internet. So the establishments are now with internet connection. Our university is actually working on this, that even the students can access to the internet connection of the university, so that it will be easier for them to Google if they have some assignments that are, so the blended strategy in teaching is not a problem here anymore, because even the students have a good connection when it comes to internet. And another one is the development of robotic nursing prenatal care and make it available at home. So if you have a good internet connection, you can just maybe, like, for instance, even the information of the client can be sent to the clinic, and it is available in just one click. It will be available by the clinic before, so it will have a lesser, it will cause or results to a lesser in-person appointment. So you will not doubt the people in the community, especially the pregnant women, will not be spending money for their for the fare, just to have a checkup with the doctor, so they can maybe send the result through Messenger, perhaps through Facebook. So that is one thing that the technology can be useful for in terms of empowering women. Other than that, as of now, there is actually they can have there is an ultrasound as of now that can be done at home with the use of a machine, and it is connected into the cell phone. They can monitor their pregnancy, the development of the fetus during the pregnancy. So this is one of the use of the technology as of this time. So with this one, with the use of technology, some women can be empowered. So the thing is, maybe we can incorporate this one in our syllabus or syllabi, and then teach our students to do this. So when they go to the community setting, they will be able to teach as well the people in the community, especially the pregnant women, because actually it is easier to monitor if if we will be helping the community people, especially the pregnant women. They will be able to monitor some of the manifestations, normal and abnormal manifestations during their pregnancy. So with that, if they are educated enough to know those signs, they will be able to have their decision in like having a checkup, going to the doctor right away. So it is a matter of health education with the use of technology. So with the use of technology as of now, if we incorporate that in our program of midwifery and nursing, we will be able to help the women become empowered when it comes to perinatal care of themselves. Next slide, please. Okay, the government. So what the government can do? As I have said earlier, we are governed by the socio-cultural, economic, and political landscape. Okay, so our practices is affected by the culture, by the economic as well. So this is the challenge now when it comes to gadgets, when it comes to monitoring of perinatal like period at home. If they don't have their gadgets, if they don't have their internet at home. So there is no way that we can use the technology in incorporating this one to empower women during pregnancy and labor and delivery, and even after that period. So what the government can do is to have an improved healthcare system as well. So just like now we have a problem, we have a lot of nurses here in the Philippines. We have a lot of graduates in midwifery, but as you can see, we have still problem of healthcare professionals because some others are in the BPO, they are call center agents. It's because of they are not satisfied with because when you are in the community, you will not be working only from 8 to 5. You can be called anytime, even when you are sleeping. If someone needs your services, you can be called even at during midnight. And that is we all about taking care of the community, of the client, even our sleeping hours. And the problem is the government here in the Philippines is giving a low salary. So there must be modulation of long hours of work and improvement of the salary. So the professionals can be empowered. It is stressful to have a long period of working hours with a very low salary. That is degrading on our part. So it could affect our services as well. And another one, education and training. It is a lifelong goal to have our professionals who are taking care of our clients to have at least they will be meaning to say when we have a lifelong goal, we should train, we should be updated. Because with the research now, every now and then there are changes when it comes to care of the patient. So education and training of the healthcare professionals, such as seminars on how to provide client approach problems that the mothers can experience is very important. So empowerment of the healthcare providers influences plans of care, and it contributes to the decision-making outcomes of the multidisciplinary team. So studies of healthcare professionals note that the quality and safety of the patient care is directly related to the degree of the provider empowerment. That's the reason why we really need to empower our students so that they can be empowered professionals after graduating their program, and they can help empower the community, especially the pregnant women or the women and the girls in the community as a whole. And next is the provision of healthcare practitioner that is equivalent to the number of women to be cared for. So this is actually the problem now. Now our ratio of clients to the doctor is one in the community, that is one doctor to 20,000 population. For nurses, that is one nurse to 10,000 population. Whereas the midwives should have one midwife in every 5,000 population. But that is not what is happening in reality here in the Philippines. So the ratio between the client and the healthcare providers is not really equal. So how can we serve well the community if we have more than ratio, more than that we are expected? Just like in the hospital, sometimes in the Philippines, one nurse to 70 patients in the ward, and that is not effective anymore. So there must be the healthcare system in one nation should be regulated, and they have to address about the salary, about the number of employees, about number of healthcare providers, to the ratio of the client that being served. And another one is the provision of healthcare that is based from scientific knowledge. So this is one thing that we should have to work on, because even in the community here in the Philippines, we still believe on not scientific, like the use of the use of herbs that are not approved by the Department of Health of the Philippines, they are still using that in taking care of their clients in the community. So health education is very important. So empowering professionals is very important so they can help to empower the clients in the community. Next slide, please. Okay, so the women should have, as I have said before, one factor is the woman, though the individual, they should have, so they will be empowered as well. So they should have their own characteristics. So there are factors or attributes that the woman should have. The external factor is that gender equality, and this is actually governed by the government, and it can be also governed by the university. Next is access and control over resources. Okay, so this is governed also by the government, especially by political landscape, and meaning interconnectedness. So this is actually, we should have actually a respectful relationship between healthcare providers and the patient. So there must be a meaning, a trustful connections between the healthcare providers, the government, and the patient that we serve. And another one is facilitations of women's choices and decision making. This is a manifestation. If the woman can decide about something else, they are empowered. So we have to facilitate that the woman will be able to decide on her own health, especially the decision on where to deliver, when to go to the hospital. So if they are knowledgeable about that one, if we teach them about that, if we have a good health education to them, they will become empowered. And another one is the internal attributes that the woman should have in order to become empowered is that belief in her own ability to achieve meaningful goals. So that is called, in simple word, that is called self-confidence. But somehow our beliefs are being influenced by our culture, by the environment that we have in the community. And another one is another internal attribute is the control over her situation context. If you have a control about your situation, you will become empowered. However, there are some instances that sometimes we are sick, sometimes we need to go to the hospital, but we are controlled by finances. It's because we don't have that. We don't have enough money. We don't have enough money to buy our medications when we go to the hospital. So to have an empowered woman, you're supposed to have a control over the situation. But most of the time, it doesn't happen. Okay, and another one is the behavior of herself and those around her. So it is an innate, the nature. If you're strong when you were born, and then when you were taught during your younger years on how to be strong, you will have that kind of behavior that is good enough to become empowered if you have control about yourself. Next slide, please. Okay, so there are dimensions in empowering women. As I have said earlier, it is a landscape of socio-cultural, political, economic, and on the part of the individual, I added there the psychological aspect. So if you really believe that you can do it, you really can do it. Am I right? So it is, as they say, everything is all in the mind. Next slide, please. I think this is the last. Okay. So important things in empowering a woman. So woman's power to make her decision. The woman should have the power, to make own decision. In that way you will be able to know that the woman is empowered. How can you do a power in making the decision? If you are independent enough when it comes to decision making, of course, if you are not dependent to someone when it comes to financial things, you will be able to decide on your own. So financial establishing your finances is very important in the empowerment. So actually, to make your decision, it is sometimes in the community grounded in socio-political environmental context. As I have said earlier, that in the Philippines, we really cannot decide to have home delivery because we have that law that we are not allowed to deliver in our home. So we have created, actually, the government has an answer to that, that midwives are actually, they are empowered enough to build their own business, that is to make a lying-in clinic. So in an answer, so that the women who are about to deliver will not have their delivery at home, but they can go to a cheaper institution, and that is lying-in clinic. And there are a lot of lying-in clinics now. There are midwives that are opening their own business. Okay, so yan. So women's empowerment, it recognizes equality, gender equality, autonomy, and the space for her choices of the decision. And then another one important thing in empowering people or a woman is the patient healthcare provides relationship that is respectful. So meaning to say it should be based on trust and understanding that is vital for maternity care. And another one, shared decision. When you say shared decision, every goal that you have, every objective that you have to talk about it with your client. So making or giving a chance, making the woman a chance to say something about health, about his own or her own health is very important. So it is the so-called the client-centered objectives when you are making a plan of care to your client. So shared decision, meaning to say you are talking about something for the benefit of the patient. So it is not you who will be deciding for your client, but you together with the client will decide about health. Okay, next is so that is actually seems like it's doubled, it's the same. Yeah, so these are the factors. Empowerment factors is, yeah, you have to encourage autonomy on the client, self-care, and then participation in the decision making. So they have the capacity to take decision about their health. And I think that's the last. Yeah, it's the same. That's the last slide. And thank you very much for listening. And I hope you learned something from this one, from my discussion. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, and thank you for broadening our knowledge, ma'am. And we are sorry for the technical error before.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay.
I understand because actually that was my worry this morning, because that's the reason why I came in like 8 o'clock, and then I was nervous because our internet is actually not good as of now. So I asked the student earlier if I can be heard, if it's okay, so I can make some adjustments. So it's the same here. We have no problem with that.
Well, okay, as we heard the material, I'm sure that all participants here may have a question inside their head, and let's pick it up. So for the participant who have a question to Ma'am Michelle, you can raise your hand and speak it directly later or drop your question on the chat box down below.
Yeah.
Yang ingin
They can
bertanya.
write, they can also write if they are too shy to ask, they can write their question on the chat box. And you can read it to me for me.
Oke. Teman-teman yang ingin bertanya bisa raise hand atau menulis pertanyaannya di kolom komentar dengan format nama, underscore kelas, underscore prodi, underscore isi pertanyaan. Pertanyaannya bisa disampaikan menggunakan bahasa Inggris atau bahasa Indonesia. Feel free to ask. Jadi sambil menunggu teman-teman yang bertanya, kita sampaikan tadi intinya perempuan itu harus diberdayakan. Namun kita masih banyak melihat ya perempuan di sekitar kita itu punya berbagai masalah yang disebabkan oleh konstruksi sosial. Seperti contohnya kekerasan baik fisik, verbal maupun seksual, double burden, contohnya dituntut kerja ya dituntut mengurus dari A sampai Z-nya rumah tangga, marginalisasi, subordinasi, dan stereotype. So, Ma'am Michelle, Indonesian woman is still fighting against violent double burden as worker, yet as a mother, marginalized, subordinate, and stereotype due to the social construction, like you mentioned before about country's culture that shape woman empowerment as well.
Yes, actually, yes, we have the same. We have the same experience. We also have that here. And sometimes it is frustrating to know because we have that law here in the Philippines. So we have the law about, that is the reason why one thing that we should do about this one is maybe the reason for this, sometimes they are not coming out to the open. It's because they are afraid that they can be judged. That is one thing, they can be judged. And of course, if they will go to the court, it is a long process and it is financially draining. So what we do actually in the university is, as I have said earlier, we have to include this one. We include this one in the orientation. I was once, before I went for PhD scholarship program, I was once a gender and development coordinator in our college. So I know the activities that are being done by the director of the gender and development. That is incorporated in the orientation. We have actually an orientation about the university and the program of the university as a whole, and the gender and development activity is actually orientation about like sexual harassment. It is included in our university, the orientation, so that every student should know the right. Because if you don't know about the law, if you are ignorant about the law, you will not be able to fight for your right. So it is that is the best way is that to include this one in our orientation, like at least once a year there will be an orientation and reorientation about the law. So that is a good I think a good practice. As I have said, the university should be doing something in order to prevent all this.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. So there's the how to prevent from the university itself before we already being the real midwife. And also we have a question from Amanda. She want to ask, how far is the midwifery transformation that has been carried out in the 5.0 era in the Philippines that we can apply in Indonesia?
As of now, we are still doing the improvement because in the first place, not all places in the Philippines are being connected with the internet. We are still we are still working on that, and we are still very traditional when it comes to taking care of our women here, especially the prenatal. It is still very traditional, so it's not actually, maybe because we are a developing country, right? So when it comes to with the pandemic as well, so we have difficulty in recovering. So as of now, it is not actually the first priority of the Philippines, because our economy is declining. But however, I hope it will be one of the priority program in the future. So as of now, we are not yet using like online, but there are some in general, not in pregnancy or perinatal care, but in general, they are starting an online appointment. We have that online appointment, and we can use that online appointment also for in our as in our field, no? We can have an online appointment, like I said. Maybe we can use our gadgets. We can use high technology in perinatal checkup. So as of now, we are not yet high fidelity when it comes to taking care of our pregnant women. But I hope in the future, we will be having high fidelity. So I can see there are some online appointments when it comes to check up only, but
Okay,
not so much.
okay, Ma'am Michelle. We hope so, and we can make this a priority to figure it out together. And there's someone who raised hand, namely Miss Ma'am Dwi Yuliawati. You are free to speak.
Good morning, Miss Michelle.
Yes, good morning.
Yes, I have one question for you. Please explain again how can technology can improve the empowerment woman, especially for providing midwifery service.
Okay. So how this technology can improve what? How this technology can help or can improve profiling?
Providing midwifery service, ma'am.
Providing
Midwifery service.
midwifery
Service.
service.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So the technology can be used in the provision of the health like during checkup. As I have said earlier, we can use the technology, like for instance, even in sending information, like you want to have an appointment, no? You want to have a checkup with a doctor. Maybe the technology can help, like you can send your your data to the doctor before going in. That is to prevent in-person appointment. So, and then after that, your profile can be already read by the doctor, and then when you get there, less to have, if you don't really need to go to see the doctor, at least she can advise you to stay at home, to have an online appointment instead of going there. So that is, it can help the person to reduce the expenses in going there, like you are taking taxi, transportation, and then you can just have a consultation at home. So another thing is that with the technology as of now, I have seen from the Facebook that you can buy a machine. No, you can buy a machine, and then you can connect it to your cell phone, and you will be able to know the growth and development or the age of gestation of the fetus that you are carrying. So that in that way, the woman will be able to know the development of the uh, fetus inside, and they should have be taught on how on the different manifestations of like complications during pregnancy. At least if they know about the complications of pregnancy, like they know that they have the fetus is not growing well. If they know about that, that this is it is an abnormal, so they have they can decide to as to when to go to the doctor for the checkup. So they, what I mean is that lesser in appointment or face-to-face prenatal care if the woman herself can monitor the pregnancy at home with the use of the gadget. And then have an appointment online and tell the doctor, these are the results of my self-ultrasound at home. So maybe we can work on that one. So that is using high fidelity machines at home. But our part as educators, as our part as professional providers, healthcare providers, we should teach them what are the normal signs of pregnancy and what are the abnormal signs of pregnancy. So if they know about that, they will be able to decide when to see a doctor. So with that, they are empowered. They can decide about when about when to go to the doctor. So that is the decision making. They can decide on their own with the use of the technology. And maybe they can just call the doctor that I have this, I am bleeding, I want to see you this afternoon like that because this is not a normal process of pregnancy. So giving them enough knowledge about normal and abnormality during pregnancy, so they will be able to decide when to go for a checkup. That is empowerment, empowering women when it comes to health that is related to pregnancy and the use of the technology.
Thanks to your answer. I think it's enough, Miss Michelle.
Yeah, thank you. You're welcome.
Okay, thank you, Ma'am Michelle. So basically, technology is removing barriers, right? They
Yeah.
do self-screening for monitoring their health and doing self-risk detection. And finally, they can go to the healthcare provider at the right time.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. And the last
That is actually empowering on the part of the woman if they know how to take care of themselves, if they know when to go. That is a decision making. But definitely we have to help them recognize this race, recognize what is normal from abnormal.
Okay. And last question is come from Fatika. And the question is, it was mentioned earlier that one of the things that is important in empowerment is the power of women to make decisions. The question is, how can we as health worker, especially midwife, be able to help strengthen women who are still having difficulty of making decisions?
I think it is more on health education. First thing and foremost is health education, educating about so many things, about health, about the right, about the law. It should be incorporated in our health education. So if they know about the law, they will be able to assert the right, because this is my right, and I know, if she can say that I know that it is wrong, I know that it is not right, I know that it is against the law, and she will have that have that courage to um, tell or to come out into the open, because some other women actually are not brave enough because they don't know, they are ignorant about the law. and they are not well informed about the rights. So the best thing is health education, orientation, giving information about the rights, the law, especially about uh, women. We really, it should be taught, just like in United States of America and other Western countries. Actually, they can prevent sexual harassment. It's because at the very very young age they are informed about the no and the okay. Even touching of this and that, they are informed that it is a sign of sexual harassment. So let's begin, I think, from the education, educating them about all these things. Orientation about the law, the rights as a woman. I think that is a part.
Yeah, we have, as a midwife, we have to educate our patient, our client, right? And
Yeah.
knowledge is the key to empowerment.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Knowing, not being ignorant is the key.
Okay, so audience, thank you for your enthusiasm, but I'm really sorry that we have running out of time, so we cannot accept no more question. So if you have any further question, you can reach uh, Miss Ma'am Michelle through her
Yeah.
account that is placed before on her CV. And as all questions have answered, finally we come to the end of sharing session. Ma'am Michelle, there's a link of attendance form in the chat box. We expect you to fill the form, please.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
So in a nutshell, I will read this in bahasa. Perempuan harus diberdayakan dalam hal otonomi tubuhnya, memilih perawatan yang sesuai dengan dirinya, diberi ruang untuk berpartisipasi dalam publik, dan memiliki kapasitas untuk mengambil keputusan. Salah satunya adalah dengan mewujudkan tujuan SDGs yang kelima, yaitu kesetaraan gender dan pemberdayaan wanita dan perempuan, karena di dalam pelayanan kebidanan, perempuan yang berdaya akan siap dalam menghadapi periode kritis dalam kehidupannya dengan lebih percaya diri sehingga memiliki hasil yang lebih baik. Didukung dengan transformasi pada pendidikan kebidanan yang berbasis kompetensi dan kurikulum yang berbasis konten agar kita pun bisa memanfaatkan hal tersebut sebagai mahasiswa sehingga kita bisa berdaya dan memberdayakan wanita dan perempuan di Indonesia dengan memanfaatkan berbagai teknologi yang tersedia untuk memudahkan kita. Thank you, Ma'am Michelle, for today. On behalf of the committee, we would like to give a certificate of appreciation to you. Thank you for joining us today. I hope you are always in a healthy condition so we can meet directly on the occasion. And you are very welcome to visit Indonesia at any time, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Okay. You may leave the Zoom building if you have any other agenda today, but you are welcome to stay, ma'am. Thank you very much. Salamat. Good afternoon. Magandang hapon. Salam. See you next time.
Okay. Thank you so much for having me here. Thank you for the organizers. It is a great time with you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you also and welcome.
Audience, hopefully today's material will be beneficial for everybody and useful for enlightening our insight. To the audience, thank you for your attention and active participation. Thank you for having me. I'm Nadia Dinatastia. Good afternoon and have a nice day. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I give it back to Radinta.
Miss Nadia, who has created the course of our material delivery and question and answer session today. And thanks to the extraordinary resource persons for delivering very interesting material and sharing knowledge. Hopefully, it will be useful for all of us. I remind to all participants for filling out the attendance link and evaluation link had been included in the Zoom chat room. Next agenda is Thanksgiving, which will be conveyed by the lecture of Midwifery Study Program. Mrs. Dwi Yuliawati, SST MCAP. To Mrs. Dwi Yuliawati, time is yours.
Thanks for opportunity given. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good morning all. A representative of the Midwifery Appeal Bachelor Study Program, I would like to express my deep gratitude for Miss Michelle for fulfilling our invitation as a speaker guest in this event and for providing very useful knowledge in this event. We hope we can collaborate again in another program with Miss Michelle for the knowledge sharing like today. And not forget to, I would say thank you very much to all participants who attend and to all committee who help organize this event so that it can run successfully. Hopefully, the knowledge gained in this event be useful for all of us, especially for the student in midwifery department, Poltekkes Kemenkes Malang, to be used as a profession for providing midwifery service. We apologize profusely if uh, there are if there are things that are not pleasant in this program. Finally, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and see you the next case lecture event.
Thank you to Mrs. Dwi Yuliawati, who gave her thanks in class the guest lecture this afternoon. I reminded the participants that the evaluation link will be closed at the end of the event and participants are expected to fill in the filling correctly because the evaluation link will be used as input for the next quiz lecture event. It has come to the end of the event, and before we end the event this afternoon, we ask all participants to turn on your camera and show your best smile because we will do a photo session together. Once again, we ask all participants to turn on your camera and show your best smile because we will do a photo session together. To all participants, please turn on your camera and show your best smile. Untuk semua partisipasi, dimohon untuk menyalakan kamera dan menunjukkan senyum terbaik kalian. Sekali lagi, untuk semua partisipasi, dimohon untuk menyalakan kamera dan menunjukkan sekali lagi dimohon untuk semua partisipan, dimohon untuk menyalakan kamera dan menunjukkan senyum terbaik kalian. Okay, photo session started. First slide, I will counting 1, 2, 3. Second slide, I will count 1, 2, 3. And the last slide, I will count 1, 2, 3. Okay, done. Thank you to the committee. Well, I am here as the master of ceremony and as a representative of all parties who participated in the success of this event. I apologize profusely if in the implementation of this webinar, there are still many mistakes and shortcomings, as well as express gratitude to the speakers, the lecturers, and friends of students, the committee, and the entire audience. Hopefully, what we get today can be useful for all of us. Thank you for your presence and participation. See you at the next guest lecture event. Finally, good afternoon. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hello. I will post my email address. You can send my certificate in my email address, and if you have some activities in the future, you can contact me directly. Okay, and maybe with the faculty and faculty of this university, maybe we can also have like collaboration when it comes to like maybe research or something or project in the future. So feel free to contact me with this email address.
Thank you so much, Dr. Michelle.
Yeah. Thank you also, Doctor. So that's my email. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye-bye, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Michelle. We hope to meet again another seminar or guest lecture.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, Mrs. Kisa, Miss Kisa, Mr. Kisa. Thank you very much.
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay.
Permission to leave.
Okay.
Okay.
Terima kasih Pak Kisa.
Oh ya, sama-sama.
Matur nuwun sangat Pak Kisa,
Sambung,
nanti dikip lagi ya beliaunya.
Bisa diagendakan untuk
ya.
berikutnya.
Matur nuwun, nanti bisa untuk ini yang
Yang kemarin saya ke sana.
Itu MOU baru ya Pak Kisa?
Ya.
Oh, makanya MOU baru ya.
Ya. Sudah ada MOU-nya, kegiatannya biar terisi.
Oh ya, betul. Belanya di sana pendidikan kebidanannya.
Dia punya 2 license ya, Register Nurse and Register Midwifery.
Oke, terus
College of Nursing.
Oh, College of Nursing ya. Kebidanan nggak ada ya di sana ya?
Kalau di sana ya kebidanan itu setelah perawatan.
Nursing. Tapi ada, belumnya tetap di
sana.
Iya,
kayak beliau tambahan pendidikan kebidanan sehingga license di midwifery.
Oh.
Ya, dinnya dia rencananya kemarin din, terus ada perubahan.
Oke. Oke, Pak Kisa, nanti kayaknya belumnya menguasai. Ya, kayaknya tadi materinya semua karena Kespro, ICPD itu ya. Kayaknya menguasai Kespro ya.
Ya, Ibu.
Oke, matur nuwun sangat Pak Kisa, matur nuwun.
Mbak panitia minta sertifikat ya, nanti saya kirim beliau.
Oke, Pak. Tadi sudah jadi, nanti tinggal biar dikirim ke jenengan ya. Sama ininya Pak. Oh iya sih biasanya lewat ini ya, bendahara aja biar aja.
Oh iya ya, nanti saya mintain ID card beliau ya.
Iya, untuk
Ya.
nomornya.
Ibu.
Oke, matur nuwun Pak Kisa.